A large percentage of women that were ambidextrous reported being bisexual. Disclaimer, this is not a bullet wound. I know you guys probably just assumed that's what it was. It's a hickey. How are we liking this very girly setup? Literally have 3 different colored fluffy blankets, tons of fluffy pillows. I've recently turned into a girl. I'm priming with the It Cosmetics number 50. Okay, wait, so can I... Since you normally prime with both hands, I'm just gonna prime with both hands. I feel like that's fine. Also, I did that thing last night where I went blackhead hunting on my nose, which I don't have any blackheads on, but I really wanted there to be some because I think it's fun to pop them. Ended up just like taking chunks out of my nose, so just girly things. Should I go make coffee while this primer dries? Jesus, probably. Don't worry, I have coffee now. I use my Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation today. Ooh, that's a lot. Ooh, yeah, I'm a little heavy-handed. Heavy-handed? Heavy-handed. I'm too pale for this right now. I just haven't been tanning at all lately. Like, no sprays, no beds, no self-tanners. Definitely want to tell the story to you guys of why I'm ambidextrous. I know there normally isn't really like a story, but I definitely have a story as to why I am. Once we get to the neck, I'm just like, fuck the dabbing. Start this little story time segment of this video. So basically, I get it how I live it. There was a lot of things wrong with me when I was born. But first of all, I had the cord around my neck, which I think is semi-common. I had a heart murmur, a few tumors in my brain. I also, for a moment, like flatlined, so they thought that I was dead, and my mom had already had a stillbirth. She also had a baby right before me who died after a couple months, so my mom was like beside herself. But long story short, I'm clearly alive. But I think because of all of the complications, when I was born, my right thumb was stuck like this. Like, couldn't do this, couldn't do anything besides this. For whatever reason, my dad noticed probably when I was like 2, and he was like, Jen, which is my mom, he was like, Jen, why is she always doing that with her thumb? Like, why does she never straighten her thumb? And they would try to straighten it and it wouldn't. My mom was like, I don't know, she's probably just like, nah, whatever. Finally, they ended up taking me to the doctor. I was either 4 or 5. Probably 4, because I know I was like just starting kindergarten, I think. Found out what was wrong and everything, and I went and had the surgery to get basically like a synthetic, I don't know if that's the correct term, but like a synthetic tendon so that I could move my thumb. I just think it's so funny that like my dad, like no one noticed until I was 2, and even then they were like, she's probably just fucking with us. Long story short, my thumb, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see on this camera. You see those lines right there? When I feel right here, it feels like I'm playing the guitar. There's several little lines right here that I can feel. Here I have a not real tendon, which my thumb can do a lot of really weird things, by the way. It like will randomly like pop and like just bend in weird ways. The reason I think that I can now do things with both my left and my right hand is because of that. Because up until then, because this is my right hand, I was using my left hand for everything, and I developed super quickly. So I was talking before I was 1, I was writing when I was 2, I was reading when I was 2. I would always have to use my left hand to write or to color or to do whatever, or to do pretty much anything. Grew really accustomed to that. And then when I had the surgery done and I was all healed and everything, I went back to school and picked up a pencil and went to start writing, and like I didn't even realize until my kindergarten teacher pointed it out that I was writing with my right hand. And I had never done that before, but it was super natural for me. So since this did happen, I was kind of forced to just adapt and use my left hand. Here, I'll start doing my concealer while I'm talking. I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape Light Medium Honey. I guess I'll just like switch back and forth between which hand I use. So after that happened, I kind of continued writing with my right hand. I would occasionally, at the beginning, go back to using my left hand, not really realizing it, but my teacher would notice it. I don't know kind of how it happened. I think it just kind of happened sort of naturally, but I became more so right-handed when it comes to writing. Since I learned cursive with my right hand, things kind of changed, and it started to feel awkward using my left hand to write. However, I still will use my left hand the majority of the time to color, sometimes to draw, but definitely to color things in. I'll use my left hand. So there's that. I use my left hand to brush my teeth. I think that one just kind of stuck. I use my left hand to wipe my ass when I shit. But another interesting thing, I'm actually left-footed. I played soccer for several years, probably from the time I was 3 until, I don't know, 17. And I was always left-footed. And I think that's because since I started soccer so young, at age 3, the coach probably recognized that I was left-handed and then just, you know, started having me practice with my left foot. Even after the thumb surgery, I kind of just stayed being mostly left-footed. I don't know, I say that lightly because once I got a little bit older, maybe like 12, and I started to realize why I was left-footed, but when I would kick with my right foot, it would be a lot more powerful. It was just a little bit harder to control because I hadn't practiced. So I started then trying to develop my right foot more as far as like control and precision. I realized that I was just as good with my right foot. So yeah, it ended up working out really well to where I could play pretty much any position because I could be a right side or I could be a left side, and I could excel at any position because of that. Because I definitely think that if I didn't have my thumb problem, I wouldn't have ever picked up a crayon with my left hand and started using it. As my life went on and I started to realize like, well, my right hand is actually like just as good, if not better. Long story short, there's some things that I always will do with my left hand, and there's some things that I always will do with my right hand, and there's some that will change kind of just randomly without me really noticing it, but I've had people point out to me because not only was it my hands, but I'm a dancer as well, and I started dance very young at like age 2 or 3. And typically you have one side, one leg, or even arm that's more flexible, is able to get straighter and higher when you're doing leaps. And for me, everything was always like very even. That also leads me to believe that since it's not just my thumb, it was in my hands, that who knows, maybe I would have been ambidextrous without this. I mean, I guess I'll never know, and it doesn't really matter. But I personally think that I wouldn't have started using my left hand when I was, you know, 1 year old or however old. Of course, my camera overheated, so I just went and set my under eyes with my Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder. Anyway, back to the story. Yeah, I wanted to look up the meaning of ambidextrous real quick. This is totally random, but it originated from the 1530s, and it meant one who takes bribes from both sides. And then it eventually went to meaning what it does today, which is ambidextrous people have the ability to use both hands with equal dexterity. Ambidextrous people probably prefer to write with their right hand, since lefties always smudge what they've written as they drag their hand across the page. Yeah, that's true, and maybe that's why I prefer to write with my right hand, but color, like with colored pencils, with my left hand. Also, ambidextrous people make up less than 1% of the population. Typically geniuses will be ambidextrous. Hello! I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it makes fucking sense. Okay, I'm gonna really quickly set my whole face with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I will use my left hand this time. A lot of people that like grew up with me, or you know, even people in my life now, don't know this about me, because I mean, unless you're like around me a lot and you recognize that I switch hands and I switch feet and whatever, you're not really gonna notice unless I straight up tell you like, yeah, I'm ambidextrous, like, which I don't think I've ever done. I wonder if any of you guys have picked up on it. Probably not. It's a right-handed world, blah blah blah. Most ambidextrous people, when holding a crayon in their left hand when they're little, will often have their parent or guardian take the crayon and move it into their right hand. Well, I'm about ready to go buy a new camera because this thing will not stop overheating. But anyway, it talks about how mixed handedness is not ambidexterity. People who play an instrument, guitar, piano, percussion, are proficiently mixed handed. Now, I play the piano really well, and I guess that would be a mixed handed thing, but I'm also ambidextrous, so Each hand is learning a separate set of skills, and often the non-dominant hand is playing dexterity catch-up. I'm not just mixed-handed, I'm definitely ambidextrous, because not only is it equally as easy for me to play with the left hand as it is the right, but it doesn't transfer into other areas, whereas I'm still able to do everything the same with my left hand as my right, and my left foot as my right. But I still haven't read anything about feet here, so. Another thing that I thought was interesting that I've actually never looked into, surprisingly, for as much research as I do, ambidextrous brains tend to develop disorders, or just have disorders, which, hello, have you met me? My name is Annalise. This lack of asymmetry is tied to a heightened risk of ADHD. Again, have you met me? My name's Annalise. I take Adderall. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I never really put the correlation between my being ambidextrous and ADHD together. Maybe this is just interesting to me, I don't know. A large percentage of women that were ambidextrous reported being bisexual. That's so interesting. Because I guess if both brain sides are symmetrical, whoa. I'm learning a lot about myself right now, you guys. Ambidextrous score slightly higher overall in general intelligence testing. Hello, genius. Remember that one time I was filming a makeup tutorial? Wow, this oxidized a lot, holy shit. So yeah, I thought this would be interesting. You guys can learn a little interesting nugget about me, and someone requested that I do the left-handed makeup challenge, and I was like, ooh, you know, it would be funny. Did that, and I acted like it was gonna be such a challenge, and then it just came out like normal. But I was like, you know what? It would be more interesting if I just did like the ambidextrous makeup challenge, which isn't a challenge. Yeah, look at that. Now I have a really cool bionic thumb. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think that's even, I think I can do that with both thumbs, so it's really not that way. I'm super double jointed in all my fingers. I can bend them backwards. I can do that. I can do this thing, bend them all backwards. I can do a lot with my hands, so you know. So yeah, that was cool. I got to learn a little bit about my condition and how it relates to my other conditions, which is actually, that's just like so interesting to me, that like ADHD, being ambidextrous, like being intelligent. Why is that not showing up in my mirror? I'm gonna zoom you in a bit and do my brows. Hello. My brows don't really need that much filling right now because I need to get them done actually, so they're super thick, like strays everywhere, but I'm getting them done soon. All right, Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel to set my brows in place. There's literally no reason for this camera to keep turning off. No reason. I'm gonna put the glue on my lashes, let it get tacky, hope my camera doesn't fucking turn off again. I recently just got this black eyelash glue because I was getting sick of white but dries clear. When it doesn't, it literally still dries white. So I waited too long to do this, but this is amazing. I think I said all I want to say about the ambidextrous situation, but if you guys didn't know, if you haven't seen my dad in any of my videos, my dad calls me JoJo. So do like my sisters now and sometimes my mom, but my dad calls me Jojo or Joe or Jojamo, and that is because this is so cruel when I think about it. When my thumb was stuck like this and I was about to go into surgery, my dad was trying to get me to like, calm down and be happy. So he'd be like, let's play thumb people, like where we, you know, we're thumbs and we talk to each other and blah blah blah. And I'm like 4 years old or whatever. And so he would be like, hi, what's your name? And this is the part that I now realize is like very cruel because I have my thumb and it's stuck like this and it can't really like, he goes, hi, what's your name? And I'm over here with my little 4-year-old dumb thumb and I go, my name's Jojo. And ever since then my nickname has been Jojo or Jojamo or Joe or Joj. My dad literally only calls me that, like unless I'm in trouble, he only calls me that. So it's like, it's just a thing, you know. I was Jojo before Jojo was Jojo. Wait, I don't know if it's glue or if I'm just off my game today, but like the glue is not sticking very well. Also, it gets everywhere and since it's black, it's like, oh my god. How we line. Oh, my foot's asleep. Get you in here real close. What is that? Fuzz. Well, that could have came out a lot better, but fuck it. Fuzz. Fuck. So lately I've really been liking the look of like intense long bottom lashes. It kind of gives me like a 70s Twiggy vibe. Really am digging it lately because it kind of almost looks like I have false lashes on the bottom, right? Like, hello. These wispies are actually like the exact same length as my actual lashes, but they do add a lot more volume. It's a good thing you can't see my chest because my boob is literally out. SOS. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about ambidextrous life, let me know. Or if you are ambidextrous, I would love to know. I haven't actually met anyone in person that is a bit more, so you can get the full 70s effect of my makeup. Oh my god, I didn't highlight my nose. You guys, I didn't highlight my nose and it looks bright. See, this is just, my nose is just naturally highlighted, okay? I'm still getting hella comments about my nose being bright as fuck. Those comments where people are like, your nose is brighter than my future, make me laugh because I'm like, yeah, you know what? It actually is, because you're commenting this on a YouTube video. Your future is not that promising. I'm ready to take this headband off now. We are here. I am back. I put on a shirt. Oh, I think I just broke my wrist. I just heard my wrist pop and anyway, I just have it tied up like this. It's cute for a day where I need to wear athleisure. These men outside could stop sneezing and coughing and making normal human bodily noises. That would be great. Okay, I still have makeup on my lips. First of all, I'm lining with the NYX in the shade Sugar Glass. I just sharpened it, but I think I sharpened it too much because now there's like a chunk off of it. This is the Kaplan MD in the shade Santa Monica. This is the look. I seriously think I like really hurt my wrist. This is the look of day, very, I don't want to say very casual because for some people this is not, but I didn't do any eyeshadow and my hair is in a little nugget on top of my head. This fucking bullet wound is killing me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to comment down below if you're ambidextrous, if you know someone that's ambidextrous. Comment down below something interesting about you that I don't know because I don't think a lot of you guys knew this about me. Bye! Oh. I can't catch a break.